Aside from the relief that we get from living inside someone else's head, following someone else's thought process instead of our own, when we're reading a book, for example, or listening to someone, there is another type of relief that can come from not changing our way of thinking as it is mostly advertised, but exploring the flexibility of it. It's such a hard word when you call it change. Change seems to imply force, and that has, in a way or another, to include being hard on yourself, which never works. So we ought to be first happy about the current way of thinking. Because if we're not, how would it lead us to any other way? How would a thought process that we hate so much lead us to a better place and somehow decide to disappear all by itself and be reborn in some new form? In the same way that you can't force a child to be happy unless you love him, you can't force an idea to be better unless you first take a look at the thought process that brought it. Take a look, as in sense this way of thinking. To step back a little bit to see how natural it is for you to think the way you think. And that's it. You're already being flexible before you even know it. You're more open to different thoughts directions the moment you notice what's behind your current process. Maybe it's the way your body feels to you at the moment. Maybe it's guilt from not doing something you think you should do. Whatever it is only making your thoughts more narrow. Not worse, but more blind. It's not much about the color of the thought as it is about the size and shape of it, because that is what decides the color. That is what decides the feeling that accompanies the thought. And to see what's behind it means you have stepped back, and that makes the thought automatically bigger and brighter, and a relief is felt. Because you're not your tormented self anymore. Just like when you're reading a book or listening to someone, except this relief of being your own deeper self is mixed with more love than when being in someone else's head. More appreciation towards yourself is naturally generated when yourself is bigger than it was. And seeing more parts of the way you think surely makes yourself bigger.